Aye.
We call this Jackson County Commission work session, June 2nd, 2020 to order. Roll call, Mr. Manning.
Mr. Rich,
Present.
Mr. Venable, Ms. Gilbert,
Present.
Mr. Sisk. Present. Chairman present also.
We have our pledge by Ms. Gilbert, our prayer by Mr. Porter. Everybody remember Mr. Venable, he's having some health issues, so remember him in prayer.
Let's pray together. God our Father, we're blessed to be here. We're thankful to live in this country. We're thankful to live in this county. We're thankful for the blessings you give us individually and as a community. We do pray for Commissioner Venable and the health problems that he's having. We also pray for other members in parts of our county that are having difficulties for health reasons, for the COVID-related virus, and for other reasons. God, right now we offer a special prayer for our country. We pray that that peacemakers will step forward and take control of the situation that is throughout our country and causing division, causing loss of life and loss of property. So God, we just pray that peace will prevail and that your hand will be upon all of us. Watch over us and guide us every day. Be with those that are serving us in the public way, especially those in law enforcement that are in harm's way and those that are trying to take care of us in other ways. Watch over us and guide us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll need to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Ms. Gilbert
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We have no awards presentation, and we have, I ain't even gonna try to say the last name, Thomas. If you wanna stand up and,
Do you want me up front?
He's got a mic
just,
right
yeah,
there for you,
if
sir.
he'll give you a mic, if you come over here, and then that way the people can see that you're talking.
My name is Tom Cabista, I'm with Fastenal. This here will be also an introduction to Ryan Peck, who is with Zoll himself, and I brought him as the expert on this subject matter. And we're talking about the AEDs today, and to make sure that we have cohesiveness between not only what was already purchased, but what is on the agenda to possibly be purchased at the county level. And that's what we're here to speak to today. So, Mr. Ryan, if you would sit.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And I can hold the mic for him, because
Yeah.
he might not be able to.
Okay, yeah, come on up.
Sure.
All right, well, as Tom mentioned, my name is Ryan Peck. I'm with Zoll Medical, resuscitation manufacturer based in the United States. We're here today. We understand that you're looking at your public safety program, your public access defibrillation program. So having those AEDs within the county that are easily accessible in the event of a sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in the United States. About 1,000 people a day are dying of sudden cardiac arrest, and it does not discriminate. Different ages, different gender, can happen any place, anytime, anywhere. So that's why it's so important to have available access to these devices. And I think you'll find today, with not only the clinical support that it has here, with what we call continuum of care, when the medical professionals get that call and they come to arrive on the scene to help save that person's life, I think you'll find with the ease of use of this device, this empowers any lay rescuer, trained or untrained, to be able to perform high quality CPR. Of course, the device is going to administer the shock if the shock is advised, but it's going to coach them. It's like having an EMT or a CPR instructor right there with them to ensure that they're doing high quality CPR throughout the rescue. So I'm really just here to answer any questions that you have. I can speak to the continuum of care piece again, and if you'd like to see a demonstration of the unit today.
Okay.
So I'll follow your direction on
Okay.
that.
I've got a question. How long does the batteries last that's in those, the new ones?
Yeah, great question. So I'll kind of do a comparison, I guess.
Yeah.
With traditional AEDs, most AEDs that are out there, the electrode pads and the batteries, that's the standard maintenance, what we call cost of ownership of a device. So you purchase the device up front, that's going to be the ongoing expense, your pads and your batteries. Most AEDs have a 2-year shelf life on the pads because of the adhesive that's in the pads and how that can wear over time and not have good contact ultimately. So most of them are 2 years, and then the batteries, most of them are about 3 or 4 years. With the Zoll device, once you purchase these, you will have no associated cost for 5 years because our electrode pads last 5 years and our batteries last 5 years as well. So it's what we call the longest, lowest total cost of ownership in the industry and longest lasting accessories. No other AED manufacturer has 5-year
Good deal.
accessories, and they're synced up to do the replacements at the same time.
Right. Anybody have any questions?
No, sir.
Unless we demonstrated on Paul or something.
You missed that.
Really should.
The reason why we're even discussing this, the Life Pack 500s that we have now here in the courthouse, we have 3 in the courthouse, 2 at the jail, are end of life February 2021. You'll no longer be able to buy anything for them.
Right.
So this is coming up. Right now, the batteries for those are $500 a piece. These units run off CR123A
Yes, sir.
batteries
Yeah,
that
Duracell.
that you can purchase at Walmart, little Duracell batteries.
Oh, good.
So,
Non-proprietary. Can get them anywhere.
so these will need to be replaced in very short order, and I think Chief Nash, the ones at the jail, yeah, they're already ready for batteries.
Okay. And cost wise,
You should have a quote for 5 that I provided to Anna this morning.
And Paul, was that from the volunteer fire department?
That is
Quote previously?
I talked with Tom this morning, I talked with you this morning. That's the same deal that the Fire Association got for the purchase of, I think, 35
Right.
of those. So we're gonna get the same price as if we had bought those through the Fire Association.
Good.
So it's not gonna cost us any more.
That was a question I just asked these guys, cause I had made a contact earlier today, they said talk with Bob Spencer, he got them, so, since Paul checked into them, same cost.
What you'll notice since that was a direct quote done by our EMS rep, we deploy these directly into fire EMS agencies, so there's purchased directly from Zoll. So what you'll find on the itemized quote is the AED, the pads, and then the batteries, and then some other options. In partnering with Fastenal, who's right here in Scottsboro, Jackson County, local distributor, that's how we move all the AEDs that go out for public use
Right.
into courthouses, parks and recreation. We do that all through distribution. They've matched that quote. So what you'll see from them is that total, if you add up the AED, the pads, and the batteries, it's gonna be one part number that comes from them. Additionally, going into the courthouse and the jail, I imagine you'll need wall boxes or cabinets for them. And there's an exclusive promotion running through Fastenal through the end of this month, June 30th, you get those for free. So for 5 AEDs, that'd be $1,000.
And those are about, those are about $200 each just for the housings, the boxes.
right.
So for each AED you purchase through Fastenal, you get a free wall cabinet as well.
Now, you may have stated, what is the life of these, you may have stated that.
Yeah, most AED manufacturers, when you're discussing with them, if you don't get 10 years out of the device, something probably went sideways with it. What I will say is our warranty is 7 years, which is one of the longest in the industry, meaning if there's any general wear and tear that happened with it and for whatever reason it stopped functioning, you would contact us and we would repair that free of charge. You would just send it in. Now if it gets dropped, dinged, we do a meter drop test on it as well.
Yeah.
But if there was some kind of damage done to it or something like that, that may not be covered. But if it's general use, it's just been in your cabinet, you guys have just been using it in rescue situations, it's covered under the warranty.
And I did check with Mike Ashburn today, their current units were bought in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell by the serial numbers of these devices on the back how old they are, and I've seen 2004, 2005 Zoll AED pluses that are still functional and working fine with the batteries and pads replaced every 5 years.
Okay. All right, good deal. Any more questions for these guys?
No, thank you.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is anybody else signed up to speak? No. We'll move on to discussion items. First will be the AEDs. And everybody's got a price on these AEDs in there. Need a motion to go ahead and purchase these.
This is a work session.
Oh, I'm sorry. To put on the agenda.
Okay.
I have a mind on something else, but yeah, put it on the agenda for next week. to be
That'd be
voted
fine.
on.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it, sir.
All right, it'll be put on next week's meeting. Next be commission office organizational chart. We've run into a situation with our floodplains. We lost our floodplains manager, not long ago. And what we've decided to do is to take an employee inside the commission office, and have them start doing that job, add those duties. So really what I wanna talk about today is we need to redo the organizational chart. And if everybody's fine with that, any questions, talk about it today, and then I can have the org chart ready for next week.
Okay, will there be any, pay changes and training involved?
There'll be some pay change. We're gonna bring, the person up to the same amount as what the floodplains manager was making before.
We gonna be the same amount, that was Greg Tyler, correct?
Yes,
And,
it's to the penny. And
Well, I mean,
I'll
we'll-
have that information, with the org chart next week.
Now, when Greg did it, it came out of another department. Is it
Right.
gonna come out of our department or out of the other department?
No, it's come out of our department.
What's the reason for the change?
Well, at the time, Jeff was able to bring down his department, but he don't have the personnel to do it now.
Okay.
And he was already working as a mapping manager, and they just paid him addition to do that job.
And what is the justification or the necessity? Where does it come from that we have to have this position? You were explaining that we're in possible lawsuit.
Yeah, Mr. Porter, I can probably answer better than I can, but I just know it's something that we have to have.
Okay.
I'll just comment briefly, the floodplain ordinance that we have this has been a topic of discussion for at least 10 years, if not longer, about enforcing the floodplain ordinance that we have, and it has generally not been religiously enforced, and so there have been times that there have been threats to terminate the program for Jackson County, which means that nobody in Jackson County proper could get flood insurance, if that occurs. And we don't want that to occur because our citizens need flood insurance.
Right.
So we need to make sure that it's done correctly, and I don't really have a comment about the organizational chart, other than to say somebody needs to be in charge of this and make sure that we're following it. And it's not a simple job, it's pretty difficult.
It is.
Is there a training that person would need to be going to? I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
to make sure. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Will it be every day, 5 days a week? That's all that we do is.
Pretty much. I mean, she's gonna have a couple other duties, but pretty much that's gonna be it.
Okay, when we do this right here, the next step is we'll be having to hire somebody to replace this person, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that what it's gonna amount to?
But we'll still be one short as far as budgetary, because we're replacing the one that we're filling the floodplain manager with, but we still got that one employee that retired that we still haven't filled, so we're still under budget.
Well, I just feel like it would be more appropriate that, if Jeff was here to kind of explain, because I feel like the people, I'm not taking anything away from the employee, but the people who are mapping, that, it's fools with this every day, would know more what's taking place when it goes into the knowledge of what's going to persist of this floodplain. So I remember Mr. Aspin bringing it up here when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think we need to get a little more information. I'd like to talk with, Jeff. I don't know how the rest of them feel before we make a step further.
Mr. Ridge,
I'd like to have a little bit more information on it myself.
what would y'all like to have information on? I'll make sure I have it for you.
Well, we get with Jeff and just, see what we can, work at it. Will she be working, or this person be working in the office?
Oh, the way it's written is, it's supposed to be EMA.
That's been pushed back down to my office.
Yeah.
Mike, before he left, made a deal with Jeff to have that assigned to the GIS guy, who left here and went to work somewhere else, and then that got pushed back down to my office.
So my point is, this has absolutely nothing to do with
Come on in here,
that.
Mr. Jeff.
There he is. Talking about it.
This actually don't have anything to do with mapping.
Right.
I mean,
It just involves a great detail of knowledge of that,
Knowledge.
and that's what we were making sure
Right.
that that person would have access to the information needed.
The
Awesome.
floodplain coordinator?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it has zero to do with the revenue commissioner, zero. Really probably shouldn't even be in my office, but we had somebody that had a knack for it, that had a lot of knowledge from a previous job about it. So I offered at the time, I said, hey, why don't y'all just pay him, paid him a little bit extra, I don't remember what it was, wasn't much, just to
Right.
do the floodplain, be the floodplain coordinator too. For 25 years, I've been here for 20 years. For 25 years, it was the EMA that done it.
Right.
Before that. So, I don't know when that stopped. In some counties, it's the EMA director, some counties, it's the engineer.
Right.
I doubt there's any other county in the state that comes out of the math and appraisal department.
Okay.
Again, that's just something we offered at the time because Greg Tyler's who it was, if y'all remember Greg Tyler, because of a previous job he had before here, he had a lot of knowledge about it. And he told me, he said, hey, the county is very liable if we don't do this. And he said, I'd do it. And like I said, y'all paid him a little bit extra to do it at the time. I don't remember what it was. But when he left, that left. I don't have another employee that could do that.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, you made my point. That's just what I was getting at. It didn't have anything to do with Jeff's office.
It's not a responsibility of the revenue commissioner.
Okay, so if we paid him a little bit more to do that job, then why is this person getting paid to the penny to do the same job if he had
That's
other
what I'm
duties?
talking about, I'm just saying the extra is the same extra that we're.
But you're saying that this person will only have this duty,
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
and
for
he
the
had
extra-
additional duties for the same pay.
No, I'm not talking about moving him to the exact same pay he was making. I said the addition. It was a small addition. I can't remember. You know, it's like $4,600 or something.
I could look into it and go along, Mr. Chairman, if, that would be part of her duties too, if she wants to, but as far as, and I can understand a little compensation, but as far as having to replace the employee, the times that we're in right now, I definitely wanna sit down and study this a little further before we make a move, to move somebody
Like I
else
said,
up.
we're still gonna be one short, Mr. Manning. Am I correct about that? We're still gonna be one short even if we do that.
Yes, I
So
remember that.
we're not gonna go down to two short. There's no way we can do that.
Well,
So
I
if we're
don't,
gonna take
But at the
floodplain
time that we
manager-
became one short, did we or did we not give this person that's talking about this a raise to take on that other person's duties so we would remain one short for the good of the county?
We did,
Right.
part of it. But what I'm saying is the floodplains manager is a totally different job.
I understand that, but again, Mr. Tyler was able to do his other duties and this duty with just an additional pay, but you just told Mr. Rich that it's gonna be 5 days a week, that's their job.
She's gonna have a couple things to do, but it's gonna be mainly her job,
Okay,
floodplains manager.
can we have that with the organizational chart, the
Yeah.
job duties and descriptions next
Oh,
week?
I didn't have it, but I just didn't have time to get the organizational chart.
And before
The
we
duties
move-
has already been done.
before we move forward on this also, I'd like to talk to the person and, know what all her duties are that she's got and what the step was that we gave.
It's listed, you'll be emailed those.
I know, but I'd like to talk to her personally, I'm in the commission and things, to know where we're at. I just don't like making a step, and, we just had a raise increase and on this person, and, having to fill that position again.
Alright, so do y'all wanna look at the organizational chart next week, or you gonna move to the next work session?
Move it to the next work section, where we can get a little more information,
With
please,
some job descriptions, please.
Let's move it to the next work session.
Okay.
with a pay scale, and if she wants to be involved, we'll have a executive session where she can talk to us.
I don't think we can go into executive session for that. That ain't something you go into executive session for.
Well, we can make,
Alright, next will be, surplus on Tahoe. Let me explain a little bit about this. Right when the COVID-19 started, I got approached by Highlands asking about the Tahoe, is it called first responder?
Yes, sir.
Vehicle. And we wouldn't have the meetings at that time, so I told him what we'd do, we would put it on loan to him until we had a chance to meet and talk about it. And let me just read over a little bit of this. This kind of gives you just, do you remember the date? You got it?
It was around March 15th.
Yeah, it was.
Or since then, they run 7 cardiac arrest calls, 19 wrecks, 8 severe wrecks, 2 cave rescues, 4 at the Walls of Jericho, 1 Paint Rock River rescue, took 4 people home from the hospital, had no family to take them home, Tahoe use to drop off supplies at outlying stations, being, first on the scene several times to provide life-saving services. They carry life-saving equipment in the vehicles, drugs, cardiac equipment, oxygen, etc. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what they do, but it'll be up to this body to what, if y'all wanna donate it to the Highlands Medical, or if you wanna sell it.
Okay, what would be the surplus value? And also you were discussing with me earlier about the damage that was caused by the voting machines in the back and everything, which would bring down the value.
If we paid it on gov deals, I'd say maybe,
You might get $1,000.
yeah,
I've never seen the
It'll
vehicle, so I'm
bring more
asking.
than that, and, I looked at it yesterday, it's got 145,000 miles on it, and what my objection was, this never came before us. I'm not the one to take anything away from Jackson County and Highlands Hospital. I went over and talked with Mr. West yesterday. I received a phone call when I walked out of this meeting last Tuesday. Had no idea they even had it. And, they wouldn't tell me who their name was, it's just a concerned taxpayer, they said. And, I said, well, I wanna check it out and see what place is. Cause I mean, it's an 09 model, 145,000 miles, pretty straight vehicle. But far as us just going ahead and putting anything out there, I remember back last August when we was doing budget meetings, if I'm correct, the sheriff's department and stuff had asked for some vehicles, and we had these pickup trucks coming up, and we had this Tahoe. We didn't know we was gonna have this Tahoe, because Felix was still involved with us. But, we fooled around, and these trucks are all out there being used, and the Tahoe's been given away. And I don't think it, a chairman, you know, I just don't feel like you done your job by not contacting us and let us know what's taking place, Mr. Chairman. That, when we're here to try to carry on a meeting. Now, I was very upset and had 2 more phone calls this week. My question is, you know, who's the insurance in, who's the tag under, and who's the title under? If something had an accident, I mean, who's it coming back to? Us, the commission?
it's on loan right now until y'all make a decision.
Well, on loan would not take us out of a collision if it was to be something to come down to it, you know. And come down and it'd be some kind of lawsuit.
Then make a recommendation to this body what you wanna do.
Well, I make a recommendation, we hold on to it to further information is required, you know, till we know more what's taking place, cause the value of it's probably $8,500.
No, it ain't nowhere near that.
Well-
It ain't even a third of that.
Well, I mean, 140,000 mile Tahoe,
Let's just do a little,
Get a little-
investigating about it, think about it, get with all, even Jason, and, we'll just discuss it further.
So you want to do the next work session?
like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away, cause they're helping us here in the
Right
county.
now, Mr. Porter,
But
is the insurance,
Can you get us-
is the insurance,
Get a better value.
y'all got the insurance on it? Yeah. Hospital? Okay. So if anything happens with a wreck or something,
Before I did anything, I went ahead, I had to license it through the state, which meant I had to put my sticker on it, so to make it state legal. So it has my sticker on it, and we put the insurance on it, so to make everything to cover it.
okay.
I believe just what we have is basic lack of communication that's caused the issue. But if you'll just give us a week or 2 to sort things out, I think everything will be fine.
Yes, ma'am, and I do appreciate the time that I have been able to use it. It's been a great service to the county, so.
It sounds like it has, sir.
Well, that's one of my concerns. I mean, it's been used and justified right, but, you know, I just didn't like the way the process went, that we know nothing about where it's taking place.
You know, it's remarkable these days, because cell phones,
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing how you can use one. So,
exactly. That's why I got the information I needed yesterday.
all right, next we'll move on to the reports from staff. Mr. Manning.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing, sir, thank you.
Mr. Porter,
I don't have anything.
I'm just kidding with you, Jonathan. Rocky.
I don't know where you got your statistics from on the use of that Tahoe, but I personally know that boy uses it every day for something that's an emergency.
Oh, that's just some that, like I said, that I just pulled off severe stuff that I
He
need.
has been a big asset to this county, and I'd say if he wasn't here, he shows up for everything, whether it be rescues, cave rescues, missing people, he's there.
Exactly.
And I wanna thank him for that, because that's the first time I'd ever seen a director of an ambulance service out on calls, and he's at every stinking one.
I agree. I meet him on the road constantly. I'm like, what is this little vehicle with lights on it going? Then I finally figured out what it was.
Well, that's what I told Mr. West yesterday, did I not? I said, I want to commend you on the job you're doing. I said, you're out there serving the the county. But, I said, me being elected official, I just need to know what circumstances come forward.
Alright, is that all you got, Rocky?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Powell?
I don't have anything.
Nothing?
I thought you said you was gonna sign up to speak.
That's what I thought. Mr. Smith, you got
That
anything?
was sing, Mr. Rich. He was going to sing.
Matthew, you got anything? Okay. Alright. Next be comments from the commission. Mr. Sis.
I'd just like to say, this ordeal that's going on across our country, and just keep in prayer the lives and things that's at stake out there, these police officers, and putting themselves in harm's way, and just pray that these people realize, George Floyd, they're not representing him by no means, and I just want to say thank you for our officers that do their job here in this county.
Ms. Gilbert.
I just want to thank everyone for being as patient through this entire ordeal, everything that we've had from COVID to Hornets to the situations that are going on now. That everybody just be patient with your fellow man and be forgiving, and let's move forward and be the people that I know Jackson County can be.
Mr. Rich.
Yes, I'd like to commend the Public Works Department. They're working just about round the clock on roads that they'll fix today and wash out again tonight. Situation happened to that up in Dorrance Cove just last Thursday night, Friday morning. Just everybody needs to be patient with us. I've got a lot of calls, and they're behind already, and I know we got potholes everywhere. Some might be 6 inches deep, some of them might be 2 foot deep. We're aware of it, and we're doing the best we can with what we got to do with it. And I appreciate Jonathan and his crew for hanging in there through this ordeal, and I appreciate it. Everybody's doing a good job in the county. Appreciate it.
If nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor say aye.